Some people are born with a brain that pulls them toward chaos. Others feel an almost natural hunger for risk, conflict, or extreme emotions. This isn't just bad behavior. It's how their brain is wired, and the wiring is powerful. It can shape who you become before you even realize it's happening. Today, we're breaking into the science of personality neuroscience, the study of how your brain's structure and chemicals decide your strongest and darkest traits. We'll look at why certain people are drawn to drama, why some can't escape toxic relationships, and why others are prone to addiction. If you've ever wondered why you or someone you know seems programmed for self-destruction or emotional extremes, this will give you answers. Your personality isn't random. It's built on the physical structure of your brain. Parts like the prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, and the reward center have their own jobs: planning, reacting to threats, and seeking pleasure. The size, activity, and connection strength of these areas can make you more impulsive, more anxious, or more aggressive. Some people are born with an amygdala that reacts faster and stronger to emotional triggers. That means they experience anger, fear, or jealousy more intensely than others. Others may have a weaker prefrontal cortex, which makes it harder to control sudden urges. This natural setup can push a person toward patterns of drama, risk-taking, or emotional explosions without them fully realizing it. Dopamine is often called the brain's reward chemical, the messenger that makes you feel good when you achieve something, taste delicious food, or discover something exciting. It's what motivates you to seek pleasure, novelty, and adventure. But not all brains process dopamine the same way. Some people are more sensitive to it, meaning that everyday experiences like a calm evening or a routine day don't bring enough stimulation to feel truly satisfying. For these people, the brain craves more, bigger risks, stronger thrills, and heightened emotional intensity, just to hit that feel-good level. This is why some people seem to attract chaos or keep running back to toxic partners. It's not just bad luck. Their brain has been trained to chase that high, even when it's damaging. Addiction to substances, gambling, extreme sports, or even relationship drama all run on the same reward pathway. Over time, the brain learns that intense situations bring the biggest dopamine hits, and it starts craving them more and more. The danger is that the more you feed it, the more it demands, making calm, stable, and healthy experiences feel dull, and chaos starts to feel like home. Your stress response system is another powerful player in this cycle. It regulates how much adrenaline and cortisol flood your body when you feel threatened, challenged, or even excited. In some people, this system is wired to react more strongly, meaning they live with higher baseline tension and are more easily triggered into a state of alert. When this becomes the default setting, the body and mind adapt to operating in a near constant state of readiness, almost like being stuck with the engine revving high, even when there's no real danger. For people wired this way, peace and stability can actually feel uncomfortable because they've adapted to chaos as their normal. Truly calm situations may seem boring, unfamiliar, or even unsafe. The brain starts interpreting the absence of stress as a sign that something's wrong, prompting the person to seek or even unconsciously create high-pressure situations. Over time, this wiring reinforces a cycle where the body runs better on high alert, and moments of rest feel unnatural, making it that much harder to break free from a life fueled by stress. While your brain wiring sets the stage, your environment decides which traits get amplified or suppressed. A person with naturally high impulsivity could, in the right setting, lead a balanced and fulfilling life if surrounded by stability, supportive relationships, and healthy role models. But place that same person in an environment filled with constant conflict, poverty, neglect, or instability, and those traits can easily tilt towards self-destructive patterns. The brain doesn't operate in a vacuum. It adapts to whatever surroundings it's given, learning which behaviors are necessary for survival and which ones bring immediate rewards. This is why two people with nearly identical brain wiring can end up with completely different lives. Environment acts like a hand pressing certain buttons in your brain, determining not just how often they're activated, but also how strongly. Over time, if the same patterns are reinforced again and again, whether that's chaos, risk-taking, or emotional volatility, those patterns become ingrained as your default mode of living. In other words, the life you're exposed to most often becomes the life your brain believes is normal, even if it's hurting you. Here's the hard truth. You can't completely erase your brain's core wiring. If you're born with a high-sensitivity dopamine system or an overactive amygdala, you'll probably feel the influence of those traits for the rest of your life. That said, neuroscience shows that you can change how those traits express themselves. With consistent effort, you can train your brain to react differently, strengthen alternative pathways, and reduce the pull of old, destructive patterns. This process often involves a combination of repeated healthy habits, targeted therapy, and carefully chosen environments. Avoiding known triggers, creating predictable routines, and replacing unhealthy highs with more sustainable sources of reward can gradually shift your brain's responses. Over time, these intentional changes form new neural connections that make healthier patterns easier to follow and destructive ones harder to trigger. The wiring may still be there, but instead of being at its mercy, you become the one holding the switch, choosing which circuits light up and which ones stay dark. Your brain isn't your enemy, but if you don't understand it, it will quietly run your life on autopilot. Knowing your wiring means you can spot the triggers that pull you back into old habits, break the cycles before they own you, and choose a life that doesn't keep feeding your darkest traits. You may not be able to completely change the machine, but you can master the controls and decide where it takes you. The science is clear. Awareness gives you power. Once you understand your brain's control panel, you stop being a passenger and start being the driver. You get to choose which patterns repeat and which ones end, steering yourself toward a life that works for you instead of against you. If you've dealt with chasing chaos or getting stuck in destructive patterns, share your experience in the comments. Others might relate more than you think. Like and subscribe for more videos that break down the psychology behind why we do what we do. The description has book recommendations and neuroscience resources to help you start taking control